anyone is looking for a quick but tasty dinner, like this is little potatoes, chicken, obviously, and green beans. And then you take a packet of this, sprinkle it over the top. I use 2 just to give it extra flavor. And you take a stick of butter and melt it, and then pour it all over. You take your butter and pour it like all over. And put foil on top. Bake it at 350 for about an hour. It is quick, it's tasty, and it takes minutes to throw together. It's not a gourmet meal, but it's a great meal.
I'm going to be honest, guys, there is nothing new or exciting about my baked chicken and potatoes recipe, but it is so easy to prepare and it's deliciously seasoned. So here's how I make it. First, preheat your oven to 375. I like using baby potatoes in this recipe and cutting them in half because that's so much easier to me than chopping up a larger potato. They also taste a lot better, in my opinion. Wash and peel 4 or 5 carrots and chop them into 2-inch slices. Largely chop half of an onion and mince 4 garlic cloves, and you're going to add all of this into a large bowl. Season with my favorite seasoning mixture, which is salt, black pepper, garlic powder, and paprika. I ran out of paprika here, so I couldn't add any to the chicken. Do not miss this step to add 1 tablespoon of oil of your choice. I used olive oil to evenly coat the vegetables with the seasonings. This just makes them taste even better. Then you want to trim the fat off of your chicken thighs and season them again with the salt, black pepper, garlic powder, and paprika. Add them to a baking sheet lined with parchment paper or foil and bake at 375 for about 40 minutes to an hour. I do recommend checking them at about 40 minutes. Sometimes it could take up to an hour depending on the thickness of your chicken thighs. Once the chicken thighs are cooked through and the veggies are soft, it's ready. Sometimes I broil it for a couple of minutes at the end to make the chicken crispier, but today I didn't need to. When I portion my plate, because I'm counting macros, I weigh the chicken first, then the potatoes, and then I add the carrots and other veggies. Enjoy!
I made this super easy 1-pan meal, and it has all the veggies I had in the fridge, plus some sweet potatoes, broccoli, avocado, all the good stuff. It's so good. Let me show you how I made it. Olive oil and onions. I added garlic, and now I'm adding 2 bell peppers. Added ground turkey. Adding all these spices you see on the screen. Adding sweet potatoes, broccoli, and a good handful of spinach. I'm adding chicken broth. You can also just add water, and then I'm gonna cover for about 15 minutes. A bit of cheese. Cheese done. Adding green onions and fresh cilantro. Added a perfect avocado, and now I'm adding a bit of sour cream. She looks so good.
Let's make a 3-ingredient dinner. This recipe comes from Sarah Ebaz. I'm not sure if I'm saying that name right, but she came up on my For You page last night, and this looked absolutely delicious. So I found the ingredients today at Walmart, and we are about to make it. I will have her tag below. And we've talked about this pan before. Don't come for me about it, okay? Just don't. So the kids started school today, and I would like to say that starting the school year on a Monday should be a crime. You're gonna need some gnocchi, and I have 2 1-pound containers of this. Y'all don't mind the Band-Aid. I cut myself on these sharp corners. Anyway, you're gonna pour both of these out on your pan, and then break them up and spread them out. You want like an even layer. A 1-pound container of cherub or cherry tomatoes. You're just gonna spread those out over top. I have a whole head of garlic here, and I'm just gonna crush these. Oh, lost one. And then I'm just gonna kind of arrange these randomly over the top. Okay, there we go. Now you're gonna need some mozzarella balls in juice, and Bubba is gonna taste test this for me and make sure it's not poisonous. There you go. Here we go. He'll let us know.
They're not.
It's not poisonous. All right, we're good. She only used 1 container, but I'm gonna use 2 because we just love cheese. All right, so you're gonna take the juice from this and you're gonna drizzle it over the top of these, and I'm gonna do both of them. All right, now you're gonna season with some salt and pepper. We're gonna cook this at 450 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes, but as always, I will let you know exactly how long I cook it. All right, I'm gonna serve this tonight with the market side chopped Caesar salad, which we absolutely love, but this shit's expensive. But either way, that's what we're having it with tonight. All right, I ended up cooking this for 15 minutes at 450 degrees, and now we are gonna take the mozzarella balls and spread them out over the top. All right, it looks like this, and we're gonna pop this back in the oven until they're just melted. All right, y'all, here it is directly out of the oven, and y'all, it smells so freaking good. I cannot wait to try it. Give us a minute, and we'll do a taste test. All right, y'all, here's my dinner plate. Look at that cheese stretch, y'all. All right, here we go. Y'all, that is good. What you think, Bubba?
Mom.
All right, y'all, thanks for coming on Fake Cooking Show.
So today I'm going to be using thinly sliced pork chops. I only like thick pork chops when they're fried, and today's recipe doesn't involve frying them. So I'm going to put them all in a bowl so that we can go ahead and marinate them. Okay, I'm going to do some salt, pepper, my favorite Kinder's Buttery Steakhouse. I do a good bit of this just because I love it so much. I do a little bit of garlic powder, and then just a little lemon pepper. I know this is like a lot of seasonings, but pork literally tastes like nothing to me, so I don't know. I over-season. Okay, then I take my tongs and I mix it up because I like to make sure everything is incorporated well. Okay, so once the meat is nice and coated like this, I like to put some plastic wrap on it and sit it in the fridge for at least an hour before I cook it. Okay, so it's been like 5 hours, so these are good and marinated. I took out a casserole dish, and now I'm just laying these out in the casserole dish. And I put them pretty close together because I'm all about making easy meals, so this is a 1-pan meal. So I'm also going to be cooking my green beans in this pan. Okay, so I snapped and cleaned my green beans, so I'm going to put those in the pan as well. I take little pieces of butter and put them all around. I put minced garlic all around. It's not coming off the spoon. I take some honey. If you've been here for a while, you already know I love honey garlic green beans. And I'm just going to put this all over. And I'm going to add some salt and pepper to the green beans. It's going to look like this, and I'm going to stick this in the oven at 375. And this is what the pork chops and green beans look like after. And tonight I'm going to be pairing the pork chops and green beans with red skin mashed potatoes. So good. I take some of the sauce out of the pan and I put it over the top because it's like a little honey glaze. It is delicious. Remember, if this is not something that you would eat, that is fine. Keep scrolling. Literally nobody cares. Bye, guys.
This creamy sausage and tortellini skillet is one of our favorites, and it's really easy to make. Just brown a pound of Italian sausage, season that with salt, pepper, garlic, and then remove it from the pan. Then throw a couple tablespoons of butter into your skillet with some spinach and a tablespoon of minced garlic. Once that spinach cooks down, pour in a cup of heavy cream, 2 cans of tomato sauce, and 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. Season that with a teaspoon of Italian seasoning and half a cup of fresh parm, and let it come to a simmer. Throw in a bag of tortellini and cover that up for about 5 minutes until the pasta's tender. Then just stir in your sausage and it's ready to serve. If you're looking for an easy dinner idea,
let's make a 1-pan meal. This recipe comes from Britt's Cooking. I've made another one of her recipes that's similar to this one. She's always cooking up something really awesome and delicious, but I will have her tag below if y'all want some like super awesome recipes. Y'all go give her a follow. Okay, vacation's over, so now I gotta feed these people that are living in my house. Okay, super lame. Now, she used chicken breasts, but I'm using chicken thighs because that's what I have. This is a 4-pound pack, but I'm not using all of these. I'll probably use just 8 of them. Lots of y'all asked me about the Airbnb that we stayed in Gulf Shores, and I wasn't ignoring that question, but I did ask the host if I could share with y'all the location, and it is now where all my Airbnbs are if y'all want to go take a look. I gave it a 5 out of 5. It was really awesome. I'm going to season this with some blackened season. I'm using the Zatarans and some garlic powder. She also used onion powder, but I'm out of onion powder. I don't know how that happened, but it did. These are all coated well. You're also going to need a yellow onion finely diced. In a pan, I'm gonna add a little bit of oil. Now she used bacon grease, but I don't have any right now, so I'm just using a little bit of olive oil. I'm gonna cook these on both sides. You don't have to worry about them being all the way fully cooked. You just wanna get some nice color on each side. Now that my chicken thighs look like this, I'm gonna remove them from the pan and set them to the side. Do not get rid of that. Leave that in there, that's all the flavor. In the same pan, half a stick of butter. Once your butter's melted, you're gonna add in your onions. Now that my onions are soft, I'm gonna add a shit ton of garlic. I cooked my garlic down for maybe like 2 or 3 minutes, and now I'm gonna add 2 boxes of the rice-a-roni. This is the creamy 4 cheese. Trying to get it out of the light. Creamy 4 cheese, and I already took the sauce packet out of it. It's just gonna be the rice mixture. Cook this and brown it just a little bit. Now that my rice mixture is brown, I'm gonna add 32 ounces of reduced sodium chicken broth, and y'all already know I'm using the Great Value brand because I'm fancy. Now you're gonna add in your cheese mixture and mix it in well. Now I'm gonna add back in my chicken thighs and this juice. Now I'm gonna let it simmer covered for about 20 minutes, and I'm gonna stir it occasionally, but y'all already know I'll show you when it's done. All right, y'all, here it is. It looks and smells delicious. I just walked outside and then walked back in, and the whole house smells amazing. I did let it rest for about 10 minutes, and give us just a minute, and me and Bubba will do a taste test. There is my dinner bowl. I already cut my chicken up. I forgot to record beforehand. All right, let's go.
That's delicious.
That is so good. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming on Fake Cooking Show. Bye.
If you need an easy dinner idea, chili mac is one of those fall classics that's not just delicious and filling, it's also really cheap and easy to make. To make this one, just throw a pound of ground beef into a skillet with a diced onion and let that brown up. Then just season that up with the seasonings I have listed below, or you could use a chili packet. I like to take a little bit of that grease out with a paper towel, but you can leave it in there if you want to. Then you're going to add in 1 can of diced tomatoes, 1 can of chili beans, and 1 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. Add in 2 cups of uncooked macaroni, stir everything together, and then pour in 1.5 cups of beef broth. Then you're going to bring that to a boil and then cover it up and lower the heat and let it cook for about 10 minutes. Give that another stir after you take the lid off, and then you're going to add in 1.5 cups of freshly shredded cheddar. Then just keep stirring that all together until the cheese is all melted and it's time to eat. Even with the high grocery prices, I think you could still make this one for close to $10.
The easiest and most delicious one-pan pasta dish you will ever make. So I have some rails left. I'm adding vegetable broth to it. Give it a shake. You just want your pasta to be completely covered by the liquid. I actually needed to add more rails because of that. That's what I'm doing here. I like it saucy, so the vegetable broth helps keep it saucy because the pasta absorbs the liquid. Then you have the mozzarella and parm. This is a very complicated recipe. I'm being sarcastic. Okay? It's not complicated at all. It's so easy. You're just going to mix it together now and make sure it's all mixed together. Then top it with more mozzarella cheese or whatever cheese you have. But I'm very excited about this, as you can see.
I will eat this.
Like, will my kids eat this? I really hope that they will. Anyway, into the oven, covered, and then cook it through, and then uncovered so it gets brown and delicious and crispy on top. And you're good to go. That's it. It's singing to me right now. I've actually never made this before. This is my first time. So at this point, I'm like, oh my gosh, I really hope the pasta is cooked through because it looks and smells so freaking good. Let's just quickly top it with some Parmesan. My mouth is watering, and now we have to taste it and see how I did. Let's see.
Oh my God.
It's
perfect.
It's perfect. I'm so proud.
Let's make an easy one-pan meal. This recipe comes from Britt's Cooking, who I absolutely love, and y'all already know I'll have her tag below. She's always cooking up something absolutely delicious. But tonight we're going to be making her rice-a-roni taco rice. Let's get to it. All right, first you're going to need 2 pounds of ground meat. Next, you're going to need a sip of your 6 p.m. coffee because life has been raw dogging you for 2 full days. I'm going to cook this down with 1 yellow onion finely diced. I have a question for y'all. How do y'all cook your meat? I will sit here and chop the shit out of this until it's real small, but I've seen people cook it before where it's like in big chunks. How do you cook yours? Now that my meat's done cooking, I drained it and returned it to the pan, and now I'm going to season it up with some onion powder, garlic powder, and pepper. I love this thing. Now I'm going to add in both boxes of the Mexican-style rice-a-roni and the seasoning packets that come with it. Now, she used half of a can of Rotel, but I'm just going to use the whole can, and we are using a Great Value brand, so this is No-Tell, and half a stick of butter. Combine all of this really well until your butter melts. You're gonna need 32 ounces of unsalted beef broth. I didn't have unsalted, so I'm using regular, and 32 ounces is this whole carton. You're gonna bring it to a boil, and then you are going to reduce it to a simmer and let it go covered for 15 minutes. All right, while that's cooking, let's shred some cheese. It's been a good minute since she's been in a TikTok with me. All right, I'm doing about 1.5 cups of sharp cheddar, but I'm sure you can use any kind of cheddar you like. Also, while we're waiting, we're gonna taste test the cheese, make sure it's not poisonous. We don't want to kill our whole family. All right, y'all, I ended up simmering mine for 20 minutes, and now I covered it with the cheese, and I'm gonna add a lid and let it rest for about 10 minutes before we dig in. Before y'all ask, the information for this pan, I'm gonna put it on the screen. All right, y'all, here it is after I let it rest for 15 minutes, and give us just a minute, and me and Bubba are gonna do a taste test. You ready? All right, let's go.
Delicious.
That's very good. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming to my fake cooking show. Bye.
If you don't feel like cooking dinner, then this is the recipe for you. It takes literally 4 minutes to throw together. It's one pan, and you probably already have all the ingredients on hand.
Start off with your chicken thighs. Fill up one side with potatoes, the other side with green beans. Add a whole stick of sliced up butter. And lastly, pour a whole packet of this Italian dressing all over everything. We're gonna pop this in the oven for 350 for about an hour. And that is it. So easy and delicious.
Have you ever tried making a chicken and veggie one-pan meal? Let me show you how I made this.
You're gonna start by cutting your veggies. I use zucchini and bell peppers. Place parchment paper on your pan. I'm using chicken breast, but you can use thighs. I seasoned with onion powder, garlic powder, crushed peppers, lemon pepper. Now just season your veggies separately with a little salt and pepper. Toss your veggies with a little oil. Place your chicken back onto your sheet, and you're gonna bake at 400 degrees for 25 minutes. Take a look at this deliciousness. One-pan meals are seriously everything. Follow me at Low Carb Love.
Let's make a one-pan meal. All right, I forgot to film this part, but you are gonna start off with 1 pound of bacon chopped into bite-sized pieces. And by bite-sized, I mean cut them up, not the full slice of bacon. Once your bacon is crispy, you're gonna remove it from the pan and set it to the side to drain. In the same pan that you cook the bacon in with the grease, you're gonna add a little bit of garlic. Just kidding, we're adding a shit ton. And you're only gonna cook this for just like 1 or 2 minutes. Now you're gonna add 2 cups of reduced sodium chicken broth and 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. Now you're gonna add 5 ounces of shredded Parmesan, that's half of this container. All right, now we're gonna season it with a little bit of Tony's. So you already know, I love me some Tony's. Once this has come to a good simmer, you're gonna add in a 16-ounce bag of rigatoni. Let it simmer covered for about 5 minutes. Gonna add in some fresh broccoli. You can use frozen, just make sure that it is thawed out. And the meat from 1 rotisserie chicken. All right, now you're gonna cover it and let it cook for an additional 10 minutes, but you wanna stir it occasionally. All right, now this part's really important. We're gonna sprinkle this bacon over the top, but first we're gonna taste test it to make sure it's not poisonous, okay? We have to keep our families safe. Top it with a little more Parmesan, some panko or regular breadcrumbs, and I like to add a little more Tony's to the top, but that part is optional. Now, pop it in the oven at 350 degrees for 10 to 20 minutes until the top is how you like it. All right, y'all, here it is. Give me just a minute, and me and Bubba will do a taste test. Here is my dinner bowl. All right, let's go.
It's good.
That is good. All right, y'all, thanks for coming to my fake cooking show. Bye.